friends, welcome back to another vlog. If you haven't met before, I'm Prang, very nice to meet you. I talk about all things food, fitness and healthy lifestyle. And today I'll be walking you through high protein, easy, delicious meals that I eat today. And I also want to share a little bit about what I normally eat on a slight surplus to grow muscle, what I like to eat, and how much I eat. So if this is your vibe, please come along and just let's dive into today's video. I went to the gym to do my lower body session. Recently, my coach updated my program, so my workout routine has now changed to another phase. We're loading heavy weights and perform with lower reps comparing to my previous phase where it was more on the hyper reps. I forgot that word. The previous phase, I was more doing on a lighter weight to perform on a higher repetitions. This is my second week. Last week was smashed. My body was just so shocked. But this week is fine. I think my body is now adjusted, and thanks to all of my nutrition, which helped me with recovery and also to help grow my strength. But yeah, today is definitely look like a very, very lovely day. It seems to be sunny for the whole week. So fingers crossed, I'm gonna get all the vitamin D and dopamine boost I need to survive for the whole month. Without further ado, I'm really hungry. I'm gonna crack on with my breakfast, and obviously if you around here for a while, you know what my breakfast is going to be. I have the last bit of egg whites that needs using, so I'm gonna add into porridge as well. This is a great trick if you want to add more protein into your porridge, but you don't want to have protein powder, then you can add egg white. So that goes in. That pancakes was delicious. Lemon zest is always the key to everything. It's nice when you have like a freshly squeezed lemon juice onto the pancake, like when you do with crepes. Crepes is pancake in the European side of the world. The lemon zest in the batter really zing, which I love. I finished my work. For dinner, I'm gonna make curry, some sort of curry-ish vibe. So I'm finally in the last bits of my dinner on the Fitness Pal. I just want to kind of just chat you through a process of my bulking era so far. The first question, why did I bulk? So bulking basically means just to eat a little bit more than I normally need. And the reason why I have been on bulk is that I want to grow muscle. With that, I think I would like to clarify that I'm not on a super surplus. I'm on a slight surplus, gradually increase my calories as I need to be able to perform progressive overload at the gym, and therefore growing my muscle in size and in strength. I increase by 100 calories. I don't always increase each month or each week. The increase has been very gradual, pretty much like I assessed how I feel. Each time when I adjust it, I'll be fine for a few weeks or sometime for a couple of months, to the point where I feel like I've adjusted my food but very very high in volume and I still feel very hungry, always things about food, and that's when I need to increase my calories a bit. I mean, I have to assess holistically. There's a lot of factors that come into play: the lack of sleep, or where I'm at in my cycle. So how do I approach my bulk? I don't do dirty bulk, eat whatever that comes to me just for the sake of bulking. I still stay the same, use the same principle of eating healthy, whole food, high quality carbs, high quality fat, and also high protein. I've been doing this for more than half a year now, and it is very sustainable, and I've been enjoying my food so much. The higher the calories, the higher satisfaction I am. Is that the right word? Basically, because the more I can eat, the more room that I can enjoy food that I like more. I have more room to add some dessert. Not that being on a cut is scary for me, because I would also stay in the same principle of eating healthy whole food. But when I have that extra room, it makes foods a lot more enjoyable. It makes cooking a bit more fun. I have rooms to increase my coconut cream, for example, in my curry. So this is something that I really enjoy during my bulk. So how do I ensure that I eat enough? One of the tools that I use on daily basis to make sure that I eat enough is to track my food on my Fitness Pal. You can use whatever applications that are available to you or what you prefer. I think this is essential, that you can't not track your food. If you're following a strict diet or strict fitness goals, you will never ever know how much you eat, and you will never know whether you eat the same amount of food every day. You never know whether you eat more or you eat less. So tracking your food is essential for this occasion. Some of the struggles that I found when I increase the calories, especially when I increase more carbs, I find really hard, because I am vegetarian. I love eating beans, I love eating vegetables, and these are good source of carbs, but at the same time they're quite low, so they can generate a lot of volume in a meal. And sometimes I just got so fed up having to chew vegetables. Food that helped me during my bulk, especially when at the beginning of when I increased my calories, is that I would shift from high fiber, low calorie ingredients to calorie dense and lower volume ingredients. For example, 2 bowls of pasta. When I am feeling particularly hungry and I want to have that extra volume, I would use chickpea fusillis or gluten-free pasta like I did today for lunch. Sometimes when I need that extra boost of carbs towards the end of the day, I will use normal pasta. Another example would be for breakfast. If I want slightly lower carbs and higher in volume kind of meals, I would stick with oats. But if I want that extra kick of carbs but not a lot of volume, I would swap that to sourdough bread, sourdough toast with scrambled eggs and stuff. If I want to have lower fat meals, I would choose kind of lean plant proteins like corn instead of tempeh. If I need some higher calories, higher in fat, also high in protein, sort of protein, then I would have full fat cheddar cheese. So these kind of to give you an idea of how I adjusting my meals and ingredients. So it's a lot of mix and match and things that comes to play. But I just want to kind of give you an overview of how I change things during the process, and not everything is always fixed. And hopefully this also gives you some idea of you don't have to eat the same thing every day. You can definitely play around it a bit, and just to have fun with your food a little bit more while you're being on a diet, on whether it's on a surplus or on a deficit. And this is very personal, like based on my personal experience, so obviously it is going to look differently to you and depend on how you react to food and how you train and how you perform. I go to the gym early in the morning. Before I go to the gym at 6 a.m. I would have pre-workout snacks like you saw today. How I split my meals in a day is that I would prioritize the breakfast, like the post-workout meal, to be the biggest, highest amount in carbs, highest amount in protein. I would allow myself to also have higher fat just to make sure that that keeps me going until lunch, because I train, and if I don't have the big enough substantial breakfast, I would feel hungry for the rest of the day, and that's not really how I want to kickstart my day. Sometimes I do have morning snack when I feel extra hungry, and then for lunch I would still prioritize higher in protein, maybe slightly lower in carbs, potentially like a little bit more on the fibrous side, something easy and quick. I found myself that if I have a lot of carbs, like heavy carbs like sweet potato or large amount of rice, yes, it is filling and it keeps me going, but it also makes me very kind of like sleepy. I don't bother too much about higher protein. It will be very, very high carb dinner, eating a lot of rice, eating a lot of like pasta. Obviously there's still proteins element to it, but I'm not super fussed that it has to be like 40 grams of protein. Or snack, to avoid myself to feeling like snacky and having to like snack all the time, I would make very substantial snack like today, like pancakes, or sometimes shea pudding, protein smoothie, just to add a bit more protein to my system. Once I have enough protein, I have high protein breakfast, lunch, and snack. This keeps me going. I have to work 9 to 5. I don't want to feeling like start hungry at 3 p.m. Prioritize higher protein to keep me satiating and reduce the amount or reduce the chance of me snacking too many times before dinner. I hope that this just gives you some kind of idea and inspiration of how I approach my meal splits. And so far, I think my body is reacting really well with bulking. It's just doing really good. I can see that, say for example, my glutes, the size gotten a lot bigger. As I mentioned, that I will be entering my cut phase very soon for the summer, for the photo shoot that I will be doing in July. I'm looking forward to that, but right now I'm just going to enjoy the last bit of my bulking era. And speaking of that, it's time for dinner. It is 11 past 6, so let's just go make our curry. Very lovely dinner. It's been so long since the last time that I had a carlin piece, and I almost forgot. They're quite like nutty. They're just so nice. They're like nutty, and because they are, like from dry beans. I didn't get it from, in a can or a tin, so they held the shape really well. They still got that kind of like bitey bits, which was nice for a change. And now after dinner, I will have to do one thing that I consistently do every evening as a part of my routine, which is to plan my meal for tomorrow. And this obviously is the trick to keep me consistent with my diet. I actually mentioned on another vlog about how I track my meals, and if you're curious, then you can check that vlog out as well. I'm going to make a yogurt bowl as my dessert. As usual, it is pretty much the same. Sometimes when things are great, you don't have to change it. You don't need to fix what's already amazing. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and joining me today, and I hope to see you on my next vlog very, very soon. Bye.